Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Sammy Kaluru. I'm one of the managing director of Imbus Canada Corporation. We are one of the accredited ISTQB training provider. Today we have a webinar, very exciting webinar about one of the new product portfolio from the ISTQB, and we have a guest speaker who is also one of the director of the Canadian Software Testing Board. It is equivalent to the Canadian branch of ISTQB. And we are very privileged to have Jane Francois Reverend in this webinar. And we are very excited to know more about the process behind the syllabus creation, as well as some of the benefits of these the new syllabus that ISTQB came up with, which is called Certified Tester Foundation Level, and the version would be version 4. It's a very brand new syllabus, and we are very, very excited to share this with you. This webinar will also be recorded, and it will be available through the Imbus on the Imbus website through the download section, as well as the link would be provided through our social media channels and by the email newsletters as well. Okay? Just in case if you want to review, they will be available as well for later on. Okay, so nevertheless, let's begin our today's session. The session is called Unlocking Success by exploring the new ISTQB foundation level syllabus version 4. Welcome, Jane Francois. We are really excited to have you on this webinar, and I am sure our audience will be very excited to hear all the process and the work behind the foundation level syllabus.
Thank you, Sammy. It's an honor to be there, and thank you for inviting me. I have to say that it's exciting because we don't have a lot of time of occasions to talk about the ISTQB syllabus and how it has been made, the making of the syllabus, and it was the first time I participate in such a big working group within ISTQB, and I'm eager to talk about how it was made, what are the discussions about the making of the ISTQB syllabus, and what you can get from it. I'm pretty sure you will have a lot of good questions, and I will try to answer all of them. And maybe, Sammy, are you okay with the presentation on your side? Because I can present myself after you.
Yeah, that's okay. You have the screen. Maybe you can, we'll just go with the screen that you already have. That way we can avoid sharing between us. Okay, so let me introduce about myself a little bit. I think I just gave a little bit description. As you know by now, my name is Sammy Kaluru, and I have over 15 years experience in software testing and quality assurance. As I said earlier, I am also the director of the Imbus Canada Corporation. We are the training provider for the ISTQB syllabus in English version. So I'll give the floor to Jane Francois. Maybe you can introduce yourself.
I think I'm older, so with 25 years old of experience in software quality. Yeah. So that doesn't make me younger on that. We need to have young blood doing the syllabus. We're a lot of old, mostly experienced people, I would say, during those times when we created the syllabus. As I said, 25 years in experience in software quality, now working with the Canadian Software Testing Board as like with Zentelia, which is my company I founded 8 years ago. Tomorrow would be the anniversary of Zentelia, my company. And I'm in contact with you for 3 or 4 years now, Sammy, I think, that we're collaborating because we try to let the Canadians know about the CSTB, the Canadian Software Testing Board, the ISTQB, and we try to make sure that people are aware of the best practices that we can get from those, the things that are created internationally, and we bring that to the Canadians. And I was part of this, I'm a contributor, a small contributor. I wrote 2 chapters or sub-chapters, I would say, from the last ISTQB the CTFL, the foundation level. First time I was in there, as I said, and I was working with the group responsible for authoring that. It was an amazing experience, because if I can, I will tell you about that, but just to make sure that you know what is the ISTQB portfolio, where it stands, it will make sense to understand how it was created. So if you I will present what is currently the portfolio of products that we have when we try to teach people about the certifications, what the material that we have. Here, the CTFL is something that is on the bottom. You see the foundation level is the foundation. It's not based to, it's not created to do innovation, to give you the latest things that are in the market. Instead, the foundation level gives you a sound background of what you should know in software quality. I think, Sammy, you should agree with that. That is kind of something that if you work in the quality field, you want to know how to test. And if you are a developer or a product manager that want to know how to test, the foundation level is where you have to start. The process of creating the zero. Oh, Sammy, you want to say something?
I was agreeing with your statement you just made.
Perfect. So the foundation level, the 4.0, was created from two other syllabus that are syllabi that are already existing. The foundation level for every knowledge, basic knowledge and quality, and the Agile tester. Those are combined together to create the new CTFL 4.0. So you will see the process. Now the 4.0 is 3 days of training, and it was 3 days of trainings. How can we achieve that? It's something that we have created. It's if you have an overview, it's mostly the same division or sections that we had before. The fundamental of testing, what we should know, what are the basics, how we test through the software development lifecycle, what is static testing, how we can use that, the test analysis and design. Now, how do we analyze? How do we design our test? So it's really interesting in that portion where you have different techniques. Managing the activities. How do we manage the test and the test tool? So a question that I always get is, can we explain how that have been created and how you have integrated the portion of previously Agile and basics? So to explain the creation, it was not kind of something that is obvious. 2 years ago, I was approached. People are mostly from different groups around the world. Sammy, they were kind of 15 people, experts around the world, and we were having 10 countries represented. And then we gathered together and we tried to discuss what can be merged between those two. So we created the first version by reviewing all the existing papers, documents, books on quality, and we make sure that we all agree on the content that is going to be included in 4.0. When we merge, we end up with 5 days of training, a big syllabus, about 200 pages. And we get a no-go from the ISTQB board, saying that training providers doesn't want a 5 days courses. It's not a merge that you should do. It's more rewriting. So we get back to the drawing board. We wrote another syllabus worth was maybe 150 pages. And then again, they said it's not a book that you're writing, it's a syllabus. That's why you will see now that in the new version, it's maybe 75 pages of content. It's not everything that is explained in the syllabus, but there's good books or good books that you can find on subjects that are related to the syllabus. So the syllabus describes what you should know, and if you want to know more, and if you want to go deep because you don't know it, you should use a training provider like imbus or Zentelia to know more about this knowledge, or you should go to something that exists on the market and you get yourself aware of it. It's everything is explained. It's referenced in the syllabus. So it was how it was created, and after this the last syllabus was about something that we had. If we combine the Agile testing and the ISTQB, the summary was kind of for the first, what you should know is the key one levels. There was 21 learning objectives, and now we get down to 14 because we're able to combine things together and explain it on an agile way inside of the old way. So we were able to say that if you are working on the traditional development model, now you're able to use agile as well, and sometimes it's mostly the same, just some explanation that have been added. And we get back to 53 K2 where we have to make sense of things and you have to put things together, up to 42, and the K3 were 15 knowledge that you have to apply. We get back to 8. So at the end, the old syllabus was about 1,095 minutes, and now we get only 45 minutes more that have been added to the new syllabus at the end. So we're able to get things contained under 3 days of training.
Wow, that is really exciting to know all the work that went behind, all the process of gathering all the information together and condensing them into 60 pages. That's lots of work. I'm sure the current syllabus that we have, it covers all the contents of software testing process, as well as adapting the agile methodology. That is very exciting, which is very relevant to today's industry. So that is the whole concept of today's webinar, is to relate the new versions of foundation level, version 4, to the current industry. How does it match with the agile syllabus? So we will try to build on top of it, comparing the syllabus and today's environment. Okay, cool. So Jean-Francois, thank you very much for sharing all the work behind the scene, which we never get to see them as a training provider. But I can assure you that all the work that you've done from on behalf of training providers, we appreciate the efforts you and other co-authors have put into creating the syllabus. Okay, so we have few questions that we have gathered, and we would like to share Jean-Francois as a co-author of the syllabus. We would like to know your opinion or your thoughts around these questions. I will read the questions, and then maybe you can walk us through the process of delving these questions for us. Okay, the first question is, we have this foundation level syllabus to begin with, which was the 3.1 version, which is an older version, right? But still they're relevant in today's market. But what are some of the core benefits of ISTQB certification, especially with the the foundation level 4 version?
Yeah, the first answer is maybe just to get back to the importance of testing. Sami, it's something that the syllabus was created because it's important to test in our field now and in software quality. So why is it important to test? Is it important to test because we just want to have kind of a job? Is it important to test because we just see at the process to make sure we're not getting sued because we didn't do the right job? Or is it important to test because we want our teams or organization to be performant, to have a good process in place? Is it possible that we have some project that is not working right now, that we're working in the software teams, and you see how long it takes, how costly it takes to go to deliver a software product? We have to mention that it's like using the train is not. If there is no coordination, no testing, then you can have an accident somewhere. And if you look at all the projects, okay, it's in French. Maybe you already know that I'm coming from Quebec, and you see that by my accent. But a lot of projects, we lose a lot of monies. If you look at in the review right now, it's a $2.4 billion in the US every year that has been expense because of low quality. So quality means doing testing, but it means doing it the right way to not lose money, not lose clients, and don't want to lose our reputation. So first, it's important to test, and not just by testers. So it's what is in the new CTFL 4.0. What is inside that is that it's not just for testers, it's also for developers to know about the right techniques. Any analyst will need to know all of those techniques as well. If you look at the benefits, getting back to your question, I think there's two benefits on two different ways. For you as a professional, why getting certified with ISTQB? I think first is the recognition that you have in the market. I remember when I was working alone, doesn't have anyone to talk about the quality. How are you recognized in your field? Did you know? How do you know that what you know it's enough to do your job? So it's and then when you know that, it's about the professional development. You see in the ISTQB portfolio, there's a lot of things that you can know. You started by the foundation, but you can have the advanced level. You can be an expert. You can go on different specialists like test automation. You have your career growth in your field, and of course, it gives you a standard language. When I speak with imbus, when I speak with someone that is on the field that knows about ISTQB, I know that I don't have to explain myself. They understand what I mean, and we can have argue that it's not the right way to do the things in the context of our company or client, but at least we understand the basics. So it's a good language to know. It gives you confidence that you know at least the basic that you need to know in your field. It's about that for the professionals. And I say, if you are an organization looking for why should I certify, I pay for a certification for my employee, maybe it's about the test efficiency, how this language will be used for the SDLC for your software development lifecycle, how this person will be able to work in Agile, if you're in Agile or not, or in DevOps, let's say, because DevOps is included in 4.0. It's all about the communication that will be created. Maybe we'll be able to reduce the risk and manage those risks. It's also about the visibility of your process and better quality, of course, at the end. That's what we try to achieve.
Awesome.
And for the perspective, Sammy, it's almost the same, I believe.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that. From a training provider point of view, this news, the ISTQB certification in general, it gives us a framework to share the industry standards, like you mentioned, common standard languages, terminologies, which is universal. So from training point of view, the ISTQB syllabus and the certification portfolio, it gives us a framework to share those syllabus along with industry standards to prepare our students for the examination, to pass the exam to begin with, not only from a certification point of view, from the career development point of view. So the ISTQB syllabus provides the framework to help our students to develop a career to become efficient and effective software testers. So thanks for sharing your insight on that. Okay, so I have another question for you. What are some of the practical applications of this the foundation level version 4 test process and test strategy?
The test process and strategies are included in this syllabus. So the practical application is saying that we work with other people in our company. So the test is not a process that just happens at the end. So it's about the infinite loop. It's about the integration of everything inside your company. And start and planning. If you're planning, if you look at the syllabus, you will see the static testing. So we will see that planning can be, you can have involvement in quality. You have this is important for you to have some view of that and plan your test along the way, not wait until the end, because we do the same mistake. If you do that, we do the same mistakes than Ford when he tries to have develop his product, and the car that he's developing way before, when in that time where there was the 4T, it was developing a process, and the process at the end, if there's someone that's looking at the process and found defects, then you have to repair all those vehicles. So we should not work like that. we can work and verify at the end, but it's not just that. It's a part of the whole process with everybody's involved. I mean, at least the three amigos, if you don't know the terms, the three amigos is someone working in development, someone in the business analyst, and a tester working together to develop the right product. If you do that, it's less costly. See, again, quality and testing is less seen as a cost, but more as something that helps developing the right product the more efficient way possible.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing the practical applications, and also from training provider as well. These the using the agile concepts and the test process, they help us a lot in order to relate the industry standards. As we know by now, most of these software development organizations, I'm not saying all, but most of them, they're adapting towards the agile process, agile methodology, especially the Scrum framework. And the CTFL 4 version, because it relies for the fundamental, the training, the course has been created on top of the agile methodology, but still not living behind all the fundamentals of testing itself, right? All those test process, regardless of whether sequential or the agile, they're still relevant even in today's industry. So I believe the version 4 of the foundation level, it covers the traditional way of developing a software along with the agile way of developing a software. So it builds that relationship between those two methodologies. So that is something I believe will be very beneficial for our students when they take a training through one of us, either through imbus or through Zentelia, because we rely on the ISTQB portfolio to deliver the quality training that we can provide. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, Gianfranco, for sharing your thoughts on the practical applications. So again, talking about the foundation level syllabus, which is the version 4 syllabus, how can we enhance the test efficiency and effectiveness using this new syllabus?
One thing I like to tell my students, Sami, is about what is quality. Quality, if you look at the synonym of that, it's performance in your organization. You want to build quality as performance. Some will say that also it's so it's at the point of view of your manager of your company. I want it to be performant. I don't want to involve time and money in maintenance because we have a lot of bugs. If you look at the point of view of a client, of the user, then it will say it needs to fit my use. It needs to be bugless or bug free. So we need to work on that. But if you want to be really efficient and effective, one of the way that is the syllabus is and it's on the section that I wrote, section 5. One of the way it's testing. The synonym of testing is taking less risk. So what are the risks and how can we test efficiently based on those risks? If it's risky because you're at Boeing and you want to do the testing for something that is life critical, you have to do more testing. If it's about something that is an internal tool that you use, maybe there's less testing because there's less risk. You can take more risk, and it depends on the appetite of the risk. One thing that I'm showing here is that if you look at the methodology that is already there in the market for software testing, you can look at the Prisma model, where say that you can divide things on, and it's part of the syllabus, on the likelihood of defects happens, and the likelihood is related to the technical risk as you're taking. So if the risk is technical, then you invest time in the most early level of testing. You test the component, the software components, and the integration of those components. So it makes sense to invest more time because the likelihood is higher. You can invest time in later level of testing if you're looking at business risks, because now if it's a business risk, you want to have more system testing, and you want to involve your client and users more often because the impact is higher. So it's something that is represented and helps you define, and I think I have that in the next, define the kind of something that is not just black and white in the risk management. You can use the techniques that are part of the syllabus to define when it's low risk. I use those techniques, so they are going to be fast. It's going to be faster because the risk is low. Or I want to use more techniques, different techniques, and I want you to do that more often, because the risk is higher. So you can define a table where you're able to define the quantity of testing that is needed, and at the end when I should stop testing. So this is part of this is part of what is inside the syllabus, how you can be efficient. And another way to be efficient is to create what's one of the main portion of this syllabus, the traceability. If it is talking about traceability, so if you're able to say, I have a change in my requirement, I have a defect, what are the tests that I need to change? It makes you more effective. You know what to change, you know what to retest, and you take less risk that way. But this is basically what is inside, and there's more about what is inside this the syllabus.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing the efficiency and effectiveness. Again, from a training provider perspective, the new course, of course, one of the objective of training provider is to not only prepare our students to become the certified software tester, as well we want to make them ready for the industry, right? With the new terminologies as well as with the new methodologies. So in terms of efficiency and effectiveness, we train our students with the new techniques. We train them on some of the practical use of the new techniques, such as we walk them through some of the black box techniques. We also share some of the experience-based techniques along with some of the agile principles. So I think the new syllabus covers all the concepts that is necessary to become an efficient and effective tester, not only in the agile concept as well as in the traditional methodology as well. Regardless of what the methodology you choose, I think ISTQB foundation level still is relevant for either traditional or iterative model. So yes, thank you very much for sharing your insight on the efficiency. Okay, so let's move on. Now, with this new ISTQB 4 syllabus, the version 4 foundation level syllabus, does it provide any guidance for the test management and the management communications with the team members regarding the test efforts?
The test management is it's an important part of what we're doing as a tester. We're the only one looking at that. If there's I know there's a concept where everybody should be responsible, but at the end, there's someone that needs to look at it. So test management is something important, and there's 3 types of guidance in the syllabus, which are on the chapter 5 anyway. We're talking about metrics, management configuration, defect configuration. If you want to guide for test management, we explain that it's important to have a content. What is the basic content of a test plan? How can you prioritize your test cases, and what triggers the maintenance on your software? It's a guidance for managing the testing process, and there's also the guidance in communication. What are the metrics that you put in place to guide your communication? Do we have a lot of bugs? And there's all the tests. Are they working? Are they finding bugs? Are they efficient? And is the product good quality? The test report, those are mentioned, and we try to put Agile in that. Reports doesn't mean that you have to write something and send it by email. It could be a ceremony that you have in Agile, like the Scrum, the daily meetings that you can have, and you report about quality. This is inside and it's acknowledged by the book or the syllabus. If you want to guide the test efforts, then the risk management is there, as I explained just the question before, and also there's new estimation techniques where it's important to base your estimation on experience or base your estimation on the previous project that you did with the metrics that you have gathered, so you're able to have an idea on how many times you will spend testing, and based on the risk, do you want more or less tests?
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for sharing your insight on test management. Again, from a training provider point of view, the ISTQB 4 syllabus, it gives a good overview of what are some of the management responsibilities and also reporting structure. There's a topic on metrics, which is very useful for our students, especially if they're preparing to lead a team, manage a team. And as we understand, I think the foundation level 4 also discusses managing testing process without having the management role. There is no test manager per se in the agile process, but still there should be some kind of leadership. I believe the foundation level version 4 covers managing testing process by becoming, by using the whole team approach, codependent, as well as metrics, creating metrics, which is, again, we are not talking, like you mentioned, metrics doesn't have to be pages long. It could be as simple as few sentences, as long as it can give the relevant information for the decision makers. Along with the foundation level training, we do encourage our students who are aspiring to become a manager or who are aspiring to take the leadership role in the testing. We encourage them to consider the advanced level test management role, the training certification, which can tremendously help them achieve all the qualities that is required to become a leader in the testing field. So thank you very much for sharing your insight on the management. Now, talking about teamwork, we just talked along with the management, we did a little bit covered about the teamwork as well. So how can I emphasize cross-functional teamwork when we're using the Agile, the foundation level syllabus, the new version syllabus?
I like this question, Sami. It's kind of, if you have seen that before, you know that if you don't communicate and you don't do cross-functional work, you will end up by doing a project which is not what the customer needed. It's not how we will be able to support it, how we will develop it will not be the same idea in everybody's mind. So what is important in the syllabus that we have for about cross-functional testing is to think about how it explains the different role in testing. Is there in testing, you're a manager, you're a tester, but you can also be someone who will work by doing testing because you're an analyst, you're a software developer as well. And you mentioned the whole team approach. There's one section only about the whole team approach, how to define the whole team approach, how to use the whole team approach to get a cross-functional team. It's all about going to DevOps, shift left. Shift left is already in the syllabus as a good way to develop the right thing at the beginning, not waiting at the end to develop it. We also use the retrospective where we can enhance and make sure we have a continuous improvement in the organization by having quality developers finding solutions together on that. There's also chapters on benefits of early and frequent testing also, so we can have a chapter on that. Collaborative. One of the techniques that have been what is added to the techniques is the collaborative approach. Also, the collaborative approach is something that's going. It's not a technique because it's an approach of testing where we try to do user story in group. How do we help? We call that the collaborative user story. Help writing those user stories. How do you can use the BDD to define your test early on and before even the code has been developed. So BDD has been translated to acceptance criteria where we can use the ATDD develop test before the code and even the test-driven development TDDs inside of the syllabus. And we use the iteration and release planning to involve QAs and testers as well. So it's all about those.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing your insight on the cross-functional teamwork. Even with our as a training provider as well, we do emphasize on cross-functional teamwork. For example, when students take our training, especially the ISTQB training, we from a training perspective, we use this foundation level syllabus as a framework, as I said earlier, to prepare our students to become the efficient software tester. One way we do that is when we do the training, we do not only train to become a tester, we give them the wholesome knowledge about the entire software development. What are some of the roles and responsibilities from a business perspective, from a design perspective, from the development perspective, and also testing perspective. Finally, the DevOps and the maintenance. So when they take the training from one of our training provider, just like Imbus or Zentelia, you do not get knowledge just around the testing, but you get the wholesome knowledge. How does the testing fit into the entire development cycle? So, and I believe the foundation level version 4 syllabus covers the entire aspects of development lifecycle, including the requirements, the use case, user story gatherings, the ceremonials, agile ceremonials like the meetings, retrospectives, feedbacks like you mentioned, early and frequent feedbacks, as well as the DevOps, which is a very new concept, which does not talk in the traditional methodology, but Agile introduces that new role of DevOps, which is, I believe, is a very important role. And as a tester, it is essential that they understand the roles and responsibility of the DevOps. So as I said, from training perspective, we do prepare all our students to get the wholesome knowledge, not around testing, but around the entire development lifecycle. Okay, so now we are talking about DevOps. We mentioned our whole team in DevOps. That means we have to talk about tools. So can you elaborate on the test automation? Does the foundation level version 4 talk about test automation, and what are some of the risks and benefits with automation?
Right. You cannot have a syllabus about testing if you don't talk about automation and the usage of tools. So the last chapter of the syllabus is about, so it's divided into, so first it talks about the tools that you can use to manage your tests, to develop your testing, to help you on all the process for analysis, planning, and everything. So help you along the way in the process of testing. And there's the benefits and risk of automation, because also there's benefits in automation, but no one want to say that you should do just that. Because there's a benefits, it's efficient, it's consistent, you always have the same result, it's objective, so the human sometimes may interpret things, it could be really fast, and you can help creating test cases because it's free time for you to do something else. But there's something in the 7 principles that are for testing that are in the syllabus, which says that the test can deprecate over time. So it's good automation when you try to reproduce something the same way every time. It's less good when you try to see if there's new risk, or something that you didn't think about before. So the risk is another expectation to do everything else, that the automation can do everything. You underestimate the time of maintenance of your automation. It's something that we see often. It could be too many dependencies on some people that are selling, or the vendor of the product. So if you depend on the vendor of the product and the price is getting too high for you, or you just stop the development of the product, we see that a lot, that groups doesn't have their test anymore, or cannot maintain their test, so they have to create a new old project. So it's important for an organization to make sure that the automation is the right automation you need at the right level of your pyramid, the test pyramid, which is also part of the syllabus. So you don't automate everything on just the front end. You can automate also the API, the backend, the services, or the database. You can use different level of testing. So make sure that you don't do everything at the same places. Don't put your eggs on the same basket. So it's all about that on the last chapter syllabus.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Automation may solve some of the problems with the timeline, with the speed of execution, with the reliability and maintainability, but also as they do come with the risk, right? If you put all eggs in one basket, of course, if the basket breaks, you lose all the eggs. So we have to compensate all that. So again, there is always, it doesn't matter whether just automation, with every tools that we might use, there is a risk and benefits. We have to find a good balance between them. From a training provider perspective, I think the foundation level do cover some of the good aspects of automation. Why is it important? Benefits and risks, and it showcases some of the examples as well. And also, as a training provider, we do talk about some of the tools that could be available in the market. For example, like an open source tool. Some of the most commonly used open source tool are commercial tools. We do give them some examples so that the students that are aspiring to be a tester or becoming efficient tester, so they have those options to find or research those tools that is available in the market. And also we do encourage our students, if they're aspiring to become the automation tester, ISTQB does have the certification where you can become a certified automation tester. That could give more relevance to your skills and expertise. As foundation level gives a good introduction to automation, but again, as a tester, you want to build on those skills, and the ISTQB specialized certification around automation I think it's a very good add-on on top of the foundation level. Okay, so we are getting very close. So let's we have some more time for one more question. Again, we talked about automation, we talked about some of the team development. That means we want to talk about some skills. So what are some of the essential skills required to become a professional software tester?
And you just talk about that. There's generic skills, there's responsibilities in testing, and there's different factors to successful testing that has been included in the syllabus. And one of the things that we base our writing on is about not be an I shape. So historically, we know about testing, but we don't know anything else. It's to be at least a T shape, where you know about the business, where you know about the development techniques, the computer techniques, so you know how to develop, along with the good technique of testing. So this is already recognized. So there's different way of doing that. And if you look at the syllabus, it defines in 6 different skill set that you need to have: is testing knowledge, of course, technical knowledge, domain knowledge, and then there's more soft skills that I will say. So attention to meticulous, the attention to details, detail-oriented, good communication, analytical skills, critical, the good mindset, and creativity. So it's recognized in the book. It's less like you're a tester, you're a test manager, just do the exam about that. Now it's more about the soft skills along with the skills that you need to be performant in your job.
Awesome, great. I think you said it right. Apart from the technical skills like the domain skills and the automation skills, soft skills, they're also very important, especially in the team settings. Remember, we talked about a whole team approach earlier. That means you're working with a team with, I think I saw one of your slide that said 3 amigos. That means you were, as a test team, we work with business development along with other test teams. So soft skills is very essential along with the hard skills. From a training perspective, we do emphasize more on those skills. We do train them. Foundation level covers most of the hard skills, that is technical skills, black box testing, white box, experience based. All those skills will be covered from the foundation level, along with the domain knowledge. Right? Domain knowledge is it's specific to certain industry, but this when we talk about experience based, we do emphasize more on the domain knowledge as well. Along with that, as foundation level, I do believe it emphasizes on the soft skills such as communications, curiosity, pessimism. Those are good soft skills that ISTQB foundation level emphasizes. From a training provider perspective, we do emphasize more on the soft skill as well. During our training sessions, we do have some practical exercises or group exercises where we encourage our students to communicate between other participants, even with the trainer, so that they improve the communication skill regarding asking questions, asking relevant questions at the right time. Right? That is also very important. Not only asking questions, asking the right questions is very important, and we do emphasize as a part of our training. The whole idea here is to make our students a tester that is relevant to the today's industry. They're efficient. They bring value to the business. Right? I think the course, the topic you talked today, I think it covered all the values with the foundation level certifications. Okay, so that is all the questions we have for today. Maybe we are almost we are running out of time. Maybe very quickly, there's a couple of questions I see. Okay, let me see. So one question here is for those students who have been who have already been certified with the foundation level 3.1, which is the older version of certification. Is there any benefit for them to recertify again using the foundation level syllabus, or just reading the syllabus and understanding the syllabus is good enough?
We discussed that when we created the syllabus, Sami. And I think there's benefits to know about this knowledge if you didn't have the Agile certification. But unless you want to be trainer, there's no need to be recertified. So if you're a training provider, like what I do, I'm giving training, I need to have the recertification. But I don't see it for someone that I don't see the benefits for someone just to take the certification. There's a good book written, so I can present it, written by Lucian, Adam, and Michael Pelleton. Those were part of the group that created the syllabus, and they made a book on self-study. So if you look at that book, there are a lot of examples on how to apply what is inside of the syllabus. So I think it's enough for someone that wants to just have the knowledge of it.
Okay, great, awesome. I do believe, like you just said, if you're already certified with foundation level 3.1, it is not necessary to again recertify. Remember, one of the benefits of ISTQB certificate is that we don't have to recertify with the same certification again, because that knowledge is transferable. But to keep up with the new syllabus and the new terminologies, there's a couple of things we can do. One is, we can attend the training without having the certification exam. We can attend the training, gather more knowledge about the Agile development, some of the Agile best practices. And the number two is the book that you just mentioned from the core ISTQB authors. It is written by the core ISTQB authors. That means the syllabus you're learning directly comes from the source. So those type of reference books are very, very useful to understand today's industry. As well as just reading the syllabus, I believe it should be good enough too, right? If you do not have that kind of time or investment, I believe just reading the ISTQB syllabus, which is available for free. If you go to the istqb.org website and go to the foundation level version 4, all the documents that is necessary for you to upgrade your skills are available for free. I think our students should make most of those resources available on the website as well. Awesome. I think we are out of time now. Gianfranco, thank you very much for your time today and for all the expertise you shared with me and my audience, and also for other audiences that might have opportunity to see them later on when it's available on the website. So I don't see any other questions, and also we are out of time. So I think we should call it a day today. And Gianfranco, thank you again, and you have a wonderful weekend.
Sami, well, it was a pleasure.
Awesome. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Awesome.
I may stay here if you want.